Thanks for listening to Middle Aged and Mediocre. I'm Cash.
I'm Joel.
And we are a podcast about all things strange and unusual, death and UFOs, and other creepy,
Cults,
weird, random
ghosts.
There you go.
Yeah. No, I'm just naming things in the room.
Oh my god.
There's a cult of ghosts.
Hey, thank you for listening to Middle Aged and Mediocre. I'm Cash, and as always, I'm joined by my guiding light.
Yeah,
my hero.
I like that. Your hero.
My reason to wake up in the morning.
Wow.
My sunrise and my sunset. I'm here with Joel.
I can't live up to that.
I wanted to put some high expectations on
Man.
you. So just see
How are you with disappointment?
I just want to see how you handled it.
I'm very good.
I can see the terror in your eyes. Like, I'm none of those things.
You said like more than 5 or 6 words, and I was like, uh-oh, should I be listening to this? And then when I finally started tuning in, it was just too much. It was just too much. But we're back. We took a week off. I had to have a birthday.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah, we didn't record last week.
You're right.
I had Lily because I had my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Our days kind of got mixed up because she went on vacation with her
that's
mom,
right.
so I had her Saturday, and
Yeah.
she the worst thing possible happened to me Saturday. And you knew about it. You didn't even warn me. I just now thought of that angle.
I didn't want to break your daughter's heart.
Man, you're supposed to have my back. So, like, all week, she was like, hey, we're going with my cousin Mike. She's like, we're going to Mike's Saturday to play video games. Adam's in town.
Yeah.
Our buddy from, like, Colorado, Louisiana, all over the place.
You know, Colorado, Louisiana.
Yeah, that
one
place.
of the best cities in Louisiana, I've always said.
But they, like, were building it up all week, and I was like, yeah, we'll play video game Saturday, like, whatever.
Yeah.
So Saturday rolls around, you know, and, like, I'm trying to get a nap and stuff, and she's like, well, Dad, let's go down to Mike's now. And I was like, half hour or so. And then Mike texts me, and he's like, come on, I got pizza down here. Adam's here. Come on down. So we went down there, and I walked in. There's video of this. It was a surprise party for me.
Yeah.
And I just stood there. Like, I was hoping if I stood still, like, they wouldn't see me. Like, it was some sort of, like...
it didn't work.
some sort of nature defense, you know? But, yeah, it didn't work.
You did. You froze.
It was nice of my daughter. She
Yeah.
did a really good job. Nice of all my family and friends that came.
Well, that's why
the ones that came.
Spoil it.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't spoil her.
Yeah.
That would
The ones that weren't there are dead to me now.
I was sick. I thought I had COVID again.
Sick of me. You're like, look, I am not celebrating Joel.
No, what's funny is, your cousin got a hold of me night before, 2 nights before, something like that, and told me, like, hey, Lily really wants to do this, you know, told me what time, and I was like, okay, cool. I already kind of felt like shit. Like, I'd been at work for a couple of days and just not feeling good.
Yeah.
But then that morning, I woke up Saturday morning feeling like I was dying. And, when he told me this was happening, my very first thought was, Joel's going to hate that so much.
I did.
That was, like, my biggest...
I even told Liz, like, don't do anything. She's like, Dad, I know you told me not to do anything, but you're just the best dad, and I just wanted to show you how much I love you. And, I mean, how do you get mad at that? I did still.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
No, I told her it was very nice of her, and, like, it wasn't bad, but then, like, once, like, the awkwardness of everyone staring at me when I walk into a place, and then it was sit down and open your gifts, and I was like, can I just open them later? Do I have to open them now? But it was fun. You know, we had a good time. So that's what we were doing instead of recording.
Surprise parties are, like, I had one when I wasn't even 18 yet. I was like 15, something like that. And, like, it just seems like so much trouble. Because you gotta, like, convince the person. It
was easy for me. I mean, it was easy for them to fool me.
Well, like, you were saying, like, you know, you were like, hey, just let me, like, you know, another half hour.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody doesn't know, and you're just, like, trying to prod them, they're like, they have no reason to think that there should be any rush to anything.
So I was, like, all napped head when I walked in, too, you know, maybe a little high from earlier in the day. Maybe. I'm not saying I was.
It doesn't sound like you, but... Yeah. Sorry I missed it.
So that was my first surprise party. Hopefully my last.
Right.
You know, because it's weird, because, like, I'm about to do comedy again, but in the same breath, like, I hate being the center of attention.
Mm-hmm. I think it's super different when you're performing and not, though.
Yeah, totally.
Because I'm the same way. Like, wrestling, I was perfectly fine. Comedy, I was fine with it. But, yeah, just me.
In a room, like,
no,
look
thank
away.
you. Yeah, I don't want anyone to look at me ever.
But
so I get
it. But you can hear us.
Yeah.
on this podcast.
I mean, if we ever could figure out the technology, I'd like to have video.
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist, the best I can tell.
Yeah.
I've Googled it a lot.
A lot.
And they just keep showing me Joe Rogan's equipment, and it costs so much money. Yeah, I'd like to, though. It'd be cool, I think, to show. And we need, like, a more studio-looking place to record. So if anybody out there has money and wants to invest
But then
in a
they'll
podcast,
be, like, looking at us on a screen, not in the room looking at us.
Yeah.
So that's
and I mean, I leave my webcam on at all times.
Yeah.
So anybody that wants to see me.
I drop in.
Oh, okay. I'll remember
Drop
that.
in, pop off, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I get it. I'll start writing your name on my chest and things.
Oh!
All right, so this week we watched a random movie that I saw on Amazon Prime while I was looking for stuff. It kind of like piggybacks off of the first two movies we've watched, because both of those have kind of been horror comedy type things. Satanic Panic.
What was the first one?
I was hoping you remember. I was trying to remember.
I probably have it on my list.
The Revealer.
Okay,
Yeah. So we kind of had like a couple horror comedy type things. So I saw this one and I was like, well, that's good, because we're gearing up for
P1BR.
1BR.
Yeah.
Yes, there wasn't, but we did Revealer too.
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking of.
I've completely forgotten everything about Revealer.
No problem.
Go back and listen to that episode, everybody. Boy, was this something.
Apparently it was amazing. Yeah, but we're coming up on, so it's almost September. So, you know, Halloween's right around the corner. So, like, we're going to ramp up, like, get some, like, fun.
It's almost Fat Fuck Fall. And that's my favorite time of the year.
It needs to hurry, because I am so sick of this shit.
We can just wear layers upon layers.
Can't wait.
Now, I've never heard of Bloodfest, so when you offered it to me, or suggested it that we watch it, I wrote down things that I thought it could be about.
Oh, okay. I'm interested.
Do you want to go over that?
Yeah, let's see what you thought.
I thought maybe it would be a vampire music fest.
Okay, I could see that.
Or just a blood drive.
Yeah.
Or a gang party.
Oh, yeah, like yeah.
But what if it was set up by the Crips? Because they're like, what if there's Lonely Bloods out there and we have a blood fest, and all the Lonely Bloods that come there, you know, they don't have any backup, we'll kill them all.
Why do they have to be lonely?
Well, because they're like, oh man, I wish I had some other Bloods to connect with.
Oh.
And they're like, everyone is Blood Fest.
I got you.
So if you're on Bloods all day, you're like, homie, that's my life, the Blood Fest.
I don't even go to a fest.
Yeah, like that's my every day.
All right.
So gang party maybe.
Right.
I thought maybe it was a minstrel mash.
Yes.
You know, like a prepubescent.
The minstrel mash.
A prepubescent party for young ladies. You know.
I don't like any of that.
Before they make the change.
No, I don't want.
They can all get together and just, you know.
I don't want you thinking about that movie.
Okay. I was like saying prepubescent party.
You'll never be able to say it as well as you did the first time.
I know. And minstrel mash.
Because you nailed it the first time.
I did.
So, okay, well.
So that's what I thought it could be.
Well, I feel like a good, schlocky B horror movie would take all three of those and combine them into one movie.
Yeah. Schlocky?
Schlocky.
Is that a word?
Uh-huh.
It is now.
Yeah, it's like, just cheesy.
Okay, schlocky.
Yeah, schlocky. Pretty sure it's a word.
I don't think it is. But I use words. I make up words all the time, so, I mean, I'm not mad about it. Schlocky. Bring that up, Jamie.
It's slang of decidedly inferior quality.
All right.
Like base, cheap, lousy, miserable, shoddy, sleazy, trashy. So yeah, schlocky.
Schlocky.
Yeah, I knew it was a word.
Good job. You learned me today.
I did.
I didn't want to learn today at all.
Look, if we're here for nothing else, it's education.
Yes.
So yeah, I think all three of those ideas can be smashed into
a gangster vampire
like
about
the
to have
Crips
their
set
period.
it up. But then the vampires hear about it, and they're like, that's feeding grounds.
Yeah.
But then, like, a lot of the Bloods are there, and they're going through their monthlies.
Yeah.
So, and then bears come out. We're making that movie.
Bloodfest, too.
So, yeah, you were a little off.
A little.
This movie could have had all of those things, the way it was set up.
They had vampires.
Yeah, they had...
and blood.
So I got a little bit of a list here. So let's just... Okay, so the movie, let's kind of lay out the... What would you say is the plot of the movie?
The plot is just horror movies in general. Right?
So
how to survive a horror movie.
So this kid,
real tongue in cheek, kind of.
This kid gets a ticket to go to Bloodfest. It's going to be this big, huge like festival for horror fans.
700 acre.
700 acres. They do like a. I saw this on the trivia thing, but they do like an aerial view, and I knew when I watched it, it kind of looked familiar to me, but it's laid out like Disney. They laid it out kind of like Disney is. So, but this kid, his mom was killed when he was a kid on Halloween night.
Oh yeah.
By the patient of his doctor, who's a psychiatrist.
His dad doctor.
And but he still grows up to be a huge horror fan. His bedroom walls are plastered in horror posters and masks and things.
Real nerd.
Real dork.
Probably never even touched a boob.
I'm super jealous of all of this stuff.
Yeah.
He really wants to go to Bloodfest. His dad refuses it because, great quote in the movie, it may not have been right at the beginning, it may have been more towards the end, but his dad yells at him at one point, "Your mother was killed by horror."
Yeah.
And I loved that. That was the dumbest line ever, but I loved it.
I liked how the dad, I can't remember the exact line he wrote down, was like, this will be nothing but, like, unadulterated, like he talks about how bad it was.
And then
like,
that's the...
Yeah, that's like the Bloodfest is like...
Commercial?
Yeah, commercial.
Yeah.
It's all that same stuff, but they just say it, like, in a positive way.
So the kid ends up getting a wristband to be able to go. He knows this girl that like is a
well, first because his dad cut up his wristband.
His dad cut up his.
Yeah, because he didn't want him to go that bad.
So he gets hold of this girl who's like an aspiring actress.
And somehow he has a sister too. I don't remember the sister in that first scene with his mom. But then like when it flash forwards all those years, he has a sister now.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
If you see her or not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But so they end up going to this festival. The guy that wrote and directed this, he plays like the host,
like the ringleader
the ringleader guy, and so he's like kind of like horror's dead, like there's no good ideas anymore, and blah blah blah. And he's like, but we're gonna bring it back, and we're gonna make our own horror film, and
and like the whole thing was you could relive your favorite movies.
Yeah,
they reenacted famous horror movies.
Yeah, like different areas had different themes to them. So then it turns out that this whole thing is being set up to make a horror movie because everyone there is going to get murdered by various killers of horror lore.
They're killing off their audience.
That's
basically how cigarettes operate.
Yeah. So that's your basic plot.
So that's not smart because you're killing all the people that are going to watch your movie.
You've got like a douchey, or you got the horror fanatic. Mm-hmm. You've got his friend. His one friend is just a guy that wants to get laid. Yep. He plays Peter Parker's friend in the new Spider-Man movies.
He's lost a bunch of weight too.
Yeah.
He's not big like that, but he's the chubby best friend.
Best friend that just wants to get laid.
Yeah, he's a virgin.
You've got the girl who's only in the movie to be a love interest.
Yeah.
For the most part. You've got a douchey director, like snobby guy. Yeah. You've got the bitter actor. Like,
the actress.
Well, you got the actor, the guy that was in his favorite horror movie, but he's like bitter now, and
Albatross, is that what it was called?
Arborist. Yeah. And then you've got the aspiring actress. So there's your like main characters. You've got, as far as your killers go, you've got vampires, like slasher killers, which is the arborist. Yeah. That's like the kind of Jason, Friday the 13th, Halloweenish type character, who kind of looks like
Birdie King.
Well, kind of, but he also what's the elves that made like Thor's hammer? Like he just looks like an elf kind of. He has like a big weird mustache thing coming out the sides and these big goggles. And it was a weird choice for a slasher killer.
Yeah, well they have to make one up, and so many of those have been done. Yeah, it's probably hard to come up with a fake slasher.
Then you got zombies, clowns, and cultists.
Yep. Oh my!
I think those were basically the. And then you've got, at the very beginning, you've got one, very super athletic, ruthless killer. Who's got, a mask and,
a red mask
big Bowie knife. But, they kind of go away for most of the movie because they're in the shock twist ending. But, so, you got pretty basic characters. I did not care about any one of the characters. Nope. Never gave a shit about what was going to happen to them.
I like the idea of it. I thought it was a pretty neat concept and everything. But the first time I watched it, I fell asleep probably 35 minutes in. Yeah.
There's a line in it from the ringleader guy who he's talking because he's got people kind of running the whole thing. Like there's like people like editing the movie as they go.
And some people are like controlling some of the
killers.
So
they've brought in these people that think like they're gamers.
Yeah.
And like the zombies are actually like just dead people brought back by like this this device that goes into their brain. Yeah. So like the video game guys are controlling them.
Yeah.
But he's talking about at one point he says motivation. It's what every character needs.
That's what I wrote down too. And the motivation thing.
None of the characters had other than living. Like that was the only motivation.
Yeah,
they like horror. They want to live.
Yeah.
Some of the references we get to this thing's chock full of references. The psychiatrist, the dad, his patient being a killer, Halloween.
Yeah.
The whole horror movie is filled with them talking about horror movie rules.
Yeah,
so you got the Scream thing.
Yeah.
They mention at one point the ringleader does, or somebody talks about the zombies, and says no Boyles or Snyders. So he's referencing Danny Boyle and Scott Snyder.
Oh, okay.
Who did 28 Days Later and Dawn of the Dead remake.
All right.
So they were very fast.
See, I just went over my head. I've seen his movies, but I don't know enough to know who wrote and directed.
Okay. This movie was filled with a lot of wink, wink. Hey, you like horror movies? Yeah. Here's a reference for you. They name drop George Romero. They reference the 1930, maybe later than that. It's called Blood Feast. They reference it at the beginning of the movie, and it's a pretty classic horror movie. Hodderton is one of the areas, and it's named after Kane Hodder, who played Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, I do know that name, Kane Hodder.
The doll from Dead Silence is in the movie.
Oh, really?
The little ventriloquist dummy.
Oh, such a bad movie.
It's the exact same doll.
All right.
There's a saw trap.
Yeah.
There's a whole themed thing called Tortureville.
Yeah.
And there's a saw trap set up with a little, not the jigsaw, but a similar kind of little guy on a bike or something. And then they're in a cabin at one point. It's very Evil Dead. Yeah,
I was getting that in that Cabin in the Woods.
Evil Dead.
People are controlling it all.
There's a bunch of stuff. I mean, it is an interesting idea.
Yeah.
I like the idea behind it. And, if you just want to sit back and watch something kind of brainless, it's fine. It's gory.
It does have some pretty good decent kills in it and stuff. Honestly, it felt like something that should be on the CW.
Yeah.
I was watching it and I was like, this is...
There was nothing in it that couldn't have been on CW. Yeah. But there's a bunch of stuff in it that just I'm not expecting this thing to live up to greatest film of all time. There's so much shit in it that just doesn't make any sense. The whole plot. So what ends up happening is it turns out that the horror fanatic kid, his dad is in on it.
Yep.
And he's got it set up because it's going to prove that horror movies kill people and lead to violence because this is going to happen.
Yeah.
But the whole plan at the end is they're going to blow everything up. So it wouldn't get blamed on horror movies. They would assume it was
there's some
sort of explosion or something.
Guns are the new...
Yeah, they try to kind of shove some political stuff in, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
There's... So the killer we're talking about that has a mask and a Bowie knife and is really athletic and fast. Turns out that's the kid's sister.
Yeah.
And she's in on it too.
The sister just got introduced after in the flash forward because I'm pretty sure she wasn't there in the first part.
If she kind of shows up a few random times, and knowing that it ends up being a sister, it kind of makes sense because every time they show her, she's just kind of hanging back and watching them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like she's making sure her brother lives.
Yeah.
So it does kind of make sense because I kept seeing her in the background.
And then they kind of team up again towards the end, but it's just
So, like I said, I didn't feel anything for the characters. There's some really bad dialogue. They're at one point the kid and the love interest girl are they've commandeered a vehicle.
Yeah.
And they're going to the main tower to take out everybody or whatever they're going to do. And they're in first of all, it does this big scene of them all grabbing weapons.
Mm-hmm.
But then they never even take those weapons or use them. So the scene, there was no point to it whatsoever. But then they're in this vehicle, and the girl randomly is like, "We should have wore seat," or he says, "We should have worn seatbelts," and she yells, "It's a little late for that." And no, it isn't.
Do you know how seatbelts work? Like, you can put them on.
Takes 2 seconds. So they try to they just said, they're trying to make it like witty dialogue, and it's just, well, it doesn't make any sense though. Like, that's a dumb thing to say. Your mother was killed by horror. So that is probably the best line of the whole movie. It's kind of, there was a movie that came out a few years back. It was the guy that runs Warped Tour. He made a horror movie called Punk Rock Holocaust.
Yeah.
And it was like everybody at Warped Tour was getting slaughtered, like bands and everything.
Oh, okay.
And it gave me those vibes. Kind of had that same feel to it.
Like I said, I was getting a lot of Cabin in the Woods vibe, just like somebody orchestrating everything.
Yeah. It was. Like I said, I think it's, if you just want something random to watch for Halloween, it's probably, if you're a big horror fan, throw it in there. There's a lot of references.
Yeah. You'll get the references.
Overall, though, I mean, I'm going like 3.5 out of 10 on this thing.
See, I'll go at least 5.5 over 10 because I think it's. I don't know how to say this. It's better than it's bad, I guess. I don't know. It's like right in the middle. But it's just, since I'm such a big horror fan, like I could, well, apparently not as big if I miss all these references. But I mean, I like horror movies. So when it first started, I was super excited. Like, I was like, wow, like I love this concept. This is really cool. But then, like I said, I was asleep like 20 minutes later.
Yeah, I like.
I'd wake up and like the dad would be saying they're shooting people, and I'm like, all right, well, I know what happens.
Yeah, what the fuck is happening?
I didn't go back and made myself watch.
I like the concept a lot, and I'm shocked that nothing like that actually exists.
Yeah,
like I know there's the big haunted houses every year, like but
to reenact movies,
which maybe there are places that do that, but I don't know. Like Universal Horror, they do a lot of that kind of stuff. But I would think like a big festival,
of just horrors,
and you kind of got to go through it. Mm-hmm. You were pretty much dead on with IMDb's rating. It's a 5.4.
All right. The one time I don't want to kill IMDb.
So, the writer, director, and like we said, the ringleader character is Owen Egerton. He owns the production company that made this, Rooster Teeth.
Rooster Teeth.
Rooster Teeth Films or something like that. Hasn't done a whole lot. A few shorts. Really nothing to note.
I just felt like a short. I just had to really.
This could have. They should have got rid of a lot of the horror fanatic and the because the kind of bitter actor is his favorite actor.
Yeah,
but
he hates the movies he's in. He's like the Jason, kind of
the slasher guy.
Yeah,
and there's just like. There was too much of that.
Yeah.
And then like the dad thing was just the dumbest shit ever.
And then like they gave that guy like a redeeming arc and like he didn't really want him. Yeah, he didn't want him to be. Yeah. It's like who cares? The actors and actresses in this, the only one I knew, like I said, was the kid that just wants to get laid, and he plays Spider-Man's friend. Other than that, like Robbie Kay plays Dax. Whoever played the director, I mean, that guy did good because I really wanted him to get killed. He was kind of like the real asshole.
Yeah, director. Nicholas Rutherford.
I thought he did a good job.
His name in the movie is Benjamin Kane.
He's like, oh my god. But I liked his kind of stuff where he was just like the too good for everything director.
Yeah. So if I'm not saying don't watch this one.
Yeah.
But you definitely have to be in the right mind frame for it, I think. Yeah. It'd be good for a Halloween party.
If you missed the CW.
If you missed the CW.
If you missed the old CW.
Yeah, if you have a Halloween party, throw this on in the background. It's serviceable. There'll be, horror references for people. So, not a high recommendation for me.
No.
Kind of a high recommendation, actually. It'd be way better if you were. If you watched it, probably.
Not too high. You'll fall asleep.
But they had the weird, like, the Spider-Man's friend kid. Mm-hmm. Him and the actress end up, like, banging.
In the bathroom.
And, like, the next, like, 5 minutes is basically just him making jokes about, I've been laid now. Yeah. There's vampire women.
I can't remember. Yeah, but he made him, like, gave him some disease that also, all the, like, side effects are also vampire side effects.
Yeah.
It tried really hard.
They threw a lot into a blender
Yeah.
and made this, and it was fine. So
it was serviceable.
Yeah.
That's the word.
So, real quick before we hit a break, want to again shout out friends of the show, the band Triceratops. One of the members of the band, Travis Graham, he's the dude that did our artwork for us. He made a YouTube video intro for us that we'll be using soon. But they play September 3rd at Gators Pub in Marietta, Ohio. Doors open at 6 p.m. So you can also check them out on Spotify. They have a 3-song EP posted now. Kind of doom metal, stoner rock, kind of those vibes. So if you're into anything like that, go ahead and check them out. Once again, Marietta, Ohio, September 3rd at 6 p.m. at Gators Pub.
Yeah.
So,
Gators!
And we're going to take a break, and we will be right back. All right, and we are back. What's been going on, man? This is our bullshit section.
Oh, yeah?
So, our banter.
I thought we did it at the beginning. I had a birthday.
This is an extra banter.
The extra banter, wow.
Bonus content.
Today's Thursday, we're recording on Thursday. I'm doing my first comedy show tomorrow of this year.
First one in a while, yeah.
First show of 22.
That's crazy.
My last one was December when I headlined. And I haven't done
Is that
it
the
since.
one?
When
Wait,
I went
what's...
to I can't remember the town name.
What's the one I went to with you,
with Carlin.
And...
that was like earlier in the summer.
2001? Or 2021?
Yeah.
Really?
That was probably like June last year.
Man, that felt like it was just like a couple months ago.
Like April maybe or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Time flies, man.
Yeah, when just everything's awesome.
So yeah, you got a show tomorrow night?
Fairmont at the Joe.
The Joe.
Joel's at the Joe.
Okay.
It's a comedy night. It's 8 to 10 o'clock, a $5 cover at the Joe in Fairmont, 322 and a half Adams Street. Jacob Hall, I think, is headlining.
Okay.
Christian Cox is putting the show together. I worked with them at the West Virginia Comedy Festival and some other stuff. And a guy named Brian Ornduff. I've worked with him.
Paul Orndorff's
Ornduff.
Ornduff.
Yeah. And then Joe Gant. That's me.
I got a joke for you when you're there.
Okay.
You can go, hey, nice to be at Joe's. I'm Joel. Like usual, I took the L.
Oh,
That's
okay.
free. That's for you.
They'll be like, this guy sucks.
This guy. Fuck this guy. But you start out low.
Oh, yeah.
See, I give you the low bottom,
Yeah.
and then you climb.
Yeah. I'll probably be like, I don't feel a day over dead
You
inside.
immediately set very low
That's my
expectations.
joke, Like, I just turned 43, but I don't feel a day over dead inside.
It'd be a joke if it wasn't so true. I have nothing coming up, so a whole lot of nothing.
A whole lot of nothing. Twitter arguments.
Oh god, I cleaned out my Twitter.
That's all you post about that. Good for you.
I just unfollowed a shitload of people, and then as I went through, I just kept hitting not interested in this tweet.
Yeah.
Trying to just block out everything I don't want to hear.
Good.
So put my fingers on my ears.
Life's too short not to. It's taking forever being short, but that's what they say. Life's too short.
They say that. I don't know if it's true. So you, other than the movie we just reviewed, have you been watching anything?
Just doing the Breaking Bad. I'm all caught up on Better Call Saul. That's been really good last season, last few episodes.
Only one to go.
Just doing the Breaking Bad thing, fast forwarding through Tyler.
Such a good idea. I feel like there's a couple shows I need to do that with. Yeah, the Better Call Saul, only one episode left. Any predictions on what happens?
I hope he lives and just goes to jail maybe or something, but I don't know. They're showing the car upside down, crash and stuff. I would like for him and the female Kim to maybe reunite for one last time. Man, that scene of her on the bus.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't win an Emmy for that,
she's so good.
Yeah.
Like, it bothers me that she's considered supporting actress.
Oh, because
she was nominated for the best supporting actress or whatever, and I'm like, she is just as much of that show as Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah.
Like, she's amazing in that damn show.
I really enjoy her work.
Yeah. That scene's incredible. I'm assuming they end it with him in prison.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think they'll kill him. I would hope not, and I don't think they'll just let him run away again.
Yeah.
I think there has to be some sort of actual closure. I would think.
Yeah, I would hope so.
So yeah.
Or they could leave it open and do a movie.
Yeah, maybe.
Do a Netflix movie like El Camino.
I think Vince Gilligan, the director and writer, said that this is after this last episode, he's done with this world.
Oh yeah.
He wants to move on. He's already finished both the way he wanted to.
It's kind of weird seeing Jesse Pinkman back, and he's he's put a little weight on the face and stuff, and it's just, there's no other way to do it, I guess, but it's just,
everyone
it's cool to see it, and I'm also
there was a bunch of people complaining about it. I'd prefer they do it the way they did it instead of the de-aging thing.
Yeah,
'cause that always just looks weird.
I thought about that too.
It always throws me off.
And that's a small, not even a complaint. It's like a thing that kind of.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like Jesse.
I didn't expect.
But of course, I've been watching Breaking Bad too. So.
Right. Yeah, I think it's probably easier for me to see it and not think too much because
he's got the voice down and just the look and the wardrobe and everything. I tried to pronounce the B in wardrobe.
Wardrobe. So I was off for 4 days. So I watched a lot.
Good for you.
That's basically all I did. So real quick, kind of just run down some of the stuff I watched. I finished that Blackbird show.
Okay.
That we were talking about.
Did they find all the bodies they had hidden?
No, and have you watched it or anything?
No, just that Bill Burr bit.
So you want to assume that FBI agents and detectives are smarter than you when it comes to this kind of stuff. But as the podcast we've done showed, cops are idiots.
Yeah.
But spoilers. The way that kind of it ends is the Jimmy Keene that goes to prison to be the guy that gets the killer to confess. He happens to see the killer, Larry Hall, staring at this map that has all these dots on it.
Yeah.
And he basically ends up showing his cards because he ends up going off on Larry Hall, telling him what a disgusting fuck he is.
Yeah.
And he's going to put him away for life and everything, Well, so then he ends up getting...
That's the exact Bill Burr bit.
So then he ends up getting... Jimmy does, I forget exactly how it happens, but he ends up getting thrown in solitary before he can make the call to get himself out.
Yeah.
So he's in there and he's trying to remember the map. And he's begging for a piece of paper and something to write with. And, they're telling him to shut up.
Because they don't know what he's in there for.
And he's telling them, I need to talk to... his contact was the prison psychologist. And he's I need to talk to him. His phone number is this, because the psychologist gave him his phone number. He's memorize this. If you give my number to any guard, they're going to know that you need to talk to me. So, it turns out the psychologist is on vacation at the time.
All right.
So he's, trying to get anything to write with, because he wants to be able to write, draw this map out before he forgets it. He ends up basically biting, cutting all of his fingers with his teeth to get blood.
Oh, my God.
So he can try to draw it on the wall.
Yeah.
That's
crazy person shit.
Yeah. So he's finally, the FBI and everything finally comes and gets him because they, I forget how they figure out that he knows it, or the psychologist comes back is what happens. So he's he immediately rushes in and starts drawing it on this table, but he can't remember it right. So he's kind of pissed at himself for not being able to give the families closure.
Yeah.
But this is what I would like to ask the FBI agents: if this is how it went down, I assume, because from what I've read, most of it is pretty true to what happened. So if it's the way it went down, I know it's the 90s, but I think technology still exists, and I think maps still exist. Why would you not? The area, the general area, even if it's 2 states.
Yeah.
The general area where this Larry Hall was doing his killing.
Yeah.
So why would you not just bring the map with the city, the outline, the lines and stuff, and just have him look at it? Because surely he can figure out close to where he remember seeing this. But they never do that. There's a whole thing.
Sounds like a lot of work. You gotta find a map.
When the killer figures out that Jimmy's there to snitch on him, he ends up mailing the map to his family home, and the dad ends up getting it and burning it because the dad knows what he does.
Oh shit!
So the dad ends up getting and burning it. But again, can you not check like prison records to see what like if he mailed anything out?
Yeah.
And if he did, maybe you want to go get that.
Did they not check the mail? I thought that was.
Yeah, like I thought that was a whole. So there's stuff in it that I would like to know if it's actually how it happened or not. Because if it did, like that's pretty embarrassing. They couldn't think of simple ways.
They let
to
the
solve
guy out
this.
anyway, even though he didn't really do what
So
he
they
was
did,
supposed to
yeah.
do. Yeah, they still were like, it's good.
He still got them enough info that it did.
He gave it the old college try.
Well, he got enough info to put him away for life.
Oh, okay.
And then Larry's brother, like over the years, convinced him to finally tell. Like he only like disclosed like a few of where the bodies are. So there's still probably like dozens that nobody has ever found.
Yeah.
But it's really good. The acting's incredible. The show I am currently watching that I fucking love is on Netflix. It's called Brand New Cherry Flavor, which is the worst name for a show ever. And it has nothing to do with, like, I don't know why, like, they randomly picked 4 words.
Well, that's how you like your bands.
But, yeah, it's true. But this girl, she directs this short film. She goes out to L.A. to try to sell it, or get somebody to, like, make it, you know. She ends up meeting this producer who, like, he sees the short film and he thinks it's, like, incredible and that she has all this potential. And it's this, like, short horror movie. And, you know, he's, like, trying to ask her, like, how she did certain things with, like, you know, no budget.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then he's like, you know, I want to make this a feature. I want you to direct it. He ends up, like, introducing her to, like, these, like, high-up movie producers and stuff. Then he starts trying to get, like, handsy with her. Like, grabbing her leg.
That's Hollywood!
So she basically tells him to go fuck himself.
Yeah.
Well, then his entire demeanor changes, and he doesn't want her involved now, and he actually has one of her friends come in to be the director.
Oh.
So she's pissed. Earlier, she meets this random, like, homeless-looking woman comes up to her and tells her that she can help her, and, like, she does things to people for people, and she says her name's Boro. But, so she goes and finds this Boro, and she's like, I want you to do what you said you could do. I want you to hurt this guy. I want to burn his whole life to the ground. So they're like, you have to do a ritual. We'll put a curse on him. So, like, she drinks this, she has to eat all this, like, she has to do, like, certain things within, like, a 24-hour window.
Uh-huh.
She has to eat this stew that's made out of guinea pig meat. She has to get a picture of the guy, and she has to get some of his pubic hair. So she does all this. They do the curse.
That's why I try to keep pubic hair of everyone I know.
Yeah, so I keep little baggies for people.
Labeled.
And, so yeah, she gets, like, they become connected by this curse. Well, then, the girl starts throwing up kittens. and
it sounds really good.
Dude, it is, there's, like, there's this weird, like, demon thing trying to get her, which is the worst graphics ever, but it's still kind of creepy looking and shit. There's a random shit happening, like, to everybody. It's like, I know that sounds super fucking dumb.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I believe you. I think it's good.
I've only got like 3 episodes left, and I don't know how they're going to get crazier than they've already got, because it's fucking insane.
Nuts. They'll do it.
They certainly are. Then, did you watch Prey yet?
Yeah.
Did you? What'd you think of it?
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I thought it was really, really good.
I liked a lot of the... I don't understand quite, like, why the Predator was there. I didn't get that out of it, but that's, like, a small gripe.
Didn't it...
I think it showed him, like, following a ship. It never showed the spaceship. It never...
Oh, I thought the ship crashed.
Oh. Okay, maybe I missed that part there.
Or I might be making that up in my head.
Yeah.
But I thought you see it, like, come in over the, like, trees, and then, like, it ends up, like, starting to go down, and, like, you can see smoke. I thought maybe not.
It's good, whatever.
But I thought it was
kills,
really, really
fucking
fucking
good.
Good
Action, yeah.
Yeah, the fight scenes and everything were really good.
Yeah.
Probably I love the original, and I love the sequel.
Yeah.
But it's up there, like, it's
just
top 3.
It's not a drop off at all.
Yeah.
They're all right there.
I love the idea of just putting predators in random time periods and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I posted on Twitter that I would love to see Predator versus dinosaurs. Like, no dialogue.
Yeah.
Just dinosaurs and predators fighting. That'd be fucking badass. I think.
Chris Pratt's there. He'll be
Chris
there.
Pratt will be there.
Yeah.
He'll play one of the dinosaurs.
Yeah, no, he's a dinosaur trainer. Come on.
Oh, okay. I thought he'd voice one of the. Turns out dinosaurs talked.
Yeah.
Because we need it for the movie.
Yeah, they don't talk around humans, but predators, they don't see them, so they just talk.
Yes. Yeah, I really dug it. Like you said, we're recording this on a Thursday. NFL preseason starts tonight.
Well, sorry, last week.
Yeah, the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah.
But pretty close to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about the Browns?
Yeah. Just what a mess.
I'm very impressed that Roger Goodell wants to suspend him for a whole season. Deshaun Watson.
Then guess what? Suspend them a whole season. Don't fucking put it off to somebody else twice.
Yeah,
it's just such a fucking mess. Don't get me started. I hate Deshaun Watson, but I still have to be a Browns fan because I've been one since I was 11, and I've just been through so much shit already. And it's just like, how can it get any worse? And they're like, oh, it's gonna fucking
we'll
hold
show
on.
you.
Yeah, hold my beer, as they say.
I hope he does get suspended for a year.
It's just, I'm tired of it. I just want something to happen so we can just play football.
I'll be watching some of the games tonight, at least whichever one's on. I'm sure there'll be a couple on, but I don't care if it's preseason. I watched that Hall of Fame game.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I don't fuck with preseason too much.
I never used to, but now it's football, so I'll watch it. And I have money on a couple games, so
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you bet on preseason football?
Yeah.
When it matters more than any other time, and the players are going to give it their all.
Oh yeah, some of them will. Maybe not the starters, but some of the people fighting for roster spots will play pretty hard.
Yeah. So I bet a lot of unders, total scores, because you're not getting the best out there.
Yeah.
So
smart.
Hoping for some unders.
You're a pro.
We'll see how it goes. Probably gonna lose some money. But what else is going on in your world?
That's it.
Anything else?
That's it, man.
You said you had a question.
Oh
or something?
yeah. Oh yeah. But that's not about my world though. This is as I was watching the movie. Like what we said, that would be a cool thing. But what would be your if you had to pick just 3 horror movies to go to some sort of reenactment of, or that you could be placed in, or something like that. What 3 movies?
Or
a series of movies. Of course. I would like to be in the Friday the 13th. Of course,
right.
With the new game now too. But
yeah. I would say there's a movie called Session 9 that is it's got who's the dude that was in the NCIS, took his glasses off?
Oh, Mark Harmon.
Is it Mark? His name? No, the red-haired dude.
Oh, yeah, Caruso or
David Caruso.
Yeah,
it's got him in it.
But I think I've seen it.
They go to a old asylum to clean it.
Yeah.
And all this weird shit starts happening. I'd totally be into that.
Like the old asylum then.
Just weird voices and shit showing up, You got any while I'm thinking?
Probably
you said Friday the 13th.
Yeah, probably Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay. You just want to run away from slashers.
Yes, I do. Yeah. And I don't know. I can't really think of a third one. Maybe Psycho or something.
Psycho. I would go
just
with
a spy on chicks showering. Just kidding.
Probably not a zombie movie. Maybe Night of the Living Dead because they're slower.
Yeah.
I'm not into. I don't want to have to fucking run from these goddamn things. But yeah, Night of the Living Dead.
Predator.
Session 9.
Is Predator a horror movie?
It'd be classified as horror, but I wouldn't want to have to deal with the Predator. Although I don't think they'd bother me because I'm probably not going to pose a whole lot of threat to the Predator at this point.
We're not threats.
Yeah, so.
He'd be like, "What up, Josh?"
Yeah. I'd be like, "No, you will respect me." And then, let's see, maybe Evil Dead.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
Yeah. Cabin out in the middle of nowhere with fucking.
You're camping.
Demons and shit.
That's fun.
Yeah, probably
maybe lose a hand.
Yeah, probably. But then I can put a chainsaw on, and that works somehow.
Win-win.
Yeah.
Win.
I see what you did there.
That's chainsaw.
That's the chainsaw.
Yeah.
Would you do that? Would you just make the noise instead of turning it on?
Oh yeah.
And hope to scare him off.
That'd be scary for me.
Yeah. That's a good. See, they should do that. They need to drop you into
Yeah.
That could be a good kind of Ghost Adventures, a ghost show, but more people get dropped into, like they all have like the cameras, and they just get dropped into like, horror scenarios.
And you get killed, you're out of the game or
Yeah.
whatever. I think there's actually something on the CW right now like that. Cause
Is it really?
Mike my wife, I went down the other night, and Mike's like, well, turn to CW, there's a show I'm watching. And it's like some sort of reality show based around horror movies.
Huh.
So
Maybe
maybe
they stole my idea.
Yeah, they sold
Retroactively.
it, pretty much. Fuck you, CW.
Fuck you, CW.
This has not
You've
been
stolen
paid
all
for.
of my ideas.
And the movie should have been on your channel.
Yes.
Bloodfest, CW.
All right. Well, like I was saying earlier, with October rolling around, we got Halloween coming up here before too long. So over the next, September and October, I'm gonna be pulling out some '80s horror, just some more like very Halloween classic horror type stuff.
I'm here for it.
Hopefully, we'll have a not a review episode, but some sort of story episode, Halloween-ish themed. So, try to get some stuff for you. Once the September and October shows rolling out, we will have the YouTube videos to go with them. We've kind of had to adjust after I tried to do the 1BR one.
Yeah.
I realized that
it sounds like a lot.
It's going to be so much time. I don't think it would be enough.
And I don't help at all with it.
Yeah, so I don't think the get back would be worth all the time I'd put into it. So I'm lazy. But yeah, we will be back next week.
Lazy and mediocre, maybe. Who knows?
Who knows? Joel might have another birthday.
Yeah.
You never know. So until then, thanks for listening. Subscribe and like. Tell your friends. Telling a friend would be great.
Yeah.
If all 12 of you told a friend, we'd have 24 people listening.
Yep, I was gonna say that.
And then I'll just keep saying this, and then we'll get to 60 in no time.
That we will.
Yeah.
Party.
All right, see you guys.
69.
420.